Yes. Topic: organization structure. Organization structure. Chapter 5, organizing. So write down the first meaning of organization structure, then we will be talking about this. Organization structure can be defined as the framework within which all managerial and operational tasks are performed. Organizational structure, it's a very important one marker question too, within which can be defined as the framework within which all managerial and operational tasks are performed. So we can say it is the boundary line within which a manager has to work. Keeping in mind that boundary line, the manager has to work. And this organization structure provides a framework which enables a manager to perform all the managerial and the operational tasks. Managerial task means the tasks which are related to planning, and operational task means the tasks which are related to the implementation of the planning. So this structure is felt only the organization enhances its size. So when it is required, again a very important one marker question, whenever the organization grows means either it is expanding means opening of some new branches, adding up the number of employees, increasing the scale of the production, volume of the sales. All these can be used for expansion of the business. It means the business is expanding. Or the business is diversifying. Diversifying means adding some new products. Earlier you were producing only the cosmetics, now you have entered in the textile business too. So that will be known as diversification of the business. So both terms, expansion and diversification, means growth of the business. So suppose you are a sole proprietor and your business is on very small scale. So there will be no need of organizational structure. Why? Because organizational structure is required only when the size of your business increases, it grows, it's expanded, it's diversified. Why the organization structure is required there? Because if you are growing, your business is expanding, then there will be more number of people. And if the number of people are more, then it is very much required to establish a superior subordinate relationship among them, so that there is a role clarity in the mind of them. Clear? So to establish that superior subordinate relationship, a framework is prepared, and each and every manager has to work in that framework. Their roles, their duties, to whom they are superior, who are their subordinates, everything is decided in that framework. And each and every manager has to work in that framework only. They cannot skip that framework. They cannot skip the position of others. Clear? So it is required when the organizational structure is required. It is required only when the organization grows, expands, or diversifies. So it basically, the organization structure establishes the relationship between the people, work, and resources. So this can be the case study breaking line. Identify the concept which establishes the relationship between people, work, and resources. So that concept is not the organizing. That concept is the organizational structure. Clear? So it is very much essential to ensure a smooth flow of communication and better control over the operations of a business enterprise. So if the manager wants to communicate something to the other person, then he must know the line of his line of authority. It means to whom he can communicate. He must know, because each thing cannot be communicated to all. There is a chain of command. There is a scalar chain principle is followed in each and every organization. So you can communicate only with your immediate subordinate, not with the others. So until or unless the manager is knowing this fact, he will not be able to do the communication, effective communication. So for effective communication also, organization structure is required. And definitely it will increase the profitability of the organization. Why? Because when organizational structure is framed, cleared in the minds of employees, then again it will lead to the role clarity, no confusion, optimum utilization of resources, and all these factors combinedly will increase the profitability of the organization. So this was the meaning and the importance of the organization structure. Now just go to one more important one marker question. This is the span of management, and it is also known as span of control, span of supervision. What does it mean? Write down the meaning of span of management. It's again a very important one marker question. Span of management. The alternate name is span of control, span of supervision. All are same. Let's take an example before understanding this concept. Suppose there are two managers, manager A and manager B. Okay. At a single time, manager A is managing 5 people. Okay. So manager A is effectively managing 5 persons, or we can say there are 5 subordinates under manager A, and under manager B, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 subordinates. So there are 5 subordinates of manager A, 8 subordinates of manager B. Then there is a manager C. He is having many subordinates. 12 subordinates, I can say. Okay. And they all are effectively managing the subordinates under them. So when a manager effectively manages number of subordinates, then this concept is known as span of management. Why I have given you 3 examples here? To show you that it is not necessary that each person can effectively manage the same number of persons. It differs from individual to individual. It depends upon their leadership qualities as well as their managing capacity. Maybe all the 3 managers are having same qualification, although all the 3 of them are MBA, and their experience is also same. But it is their inner capacity that how many persons effectively they can manage at a time. So A is according to capacity. Suppose A is able to manage only 5 persons at a time, B is able to manage 8 persons, and C is able to manage 12 persons at a time. So what is their span of management? A's span of management is 5%, B's span of management is 8%, and C's span of management is 12%. So how we can define the span of management? Write down, span of management is the ability of a manager, or we can say it is the number of the subordinates that can be effectively managed by a superior. You can write down, it's a very important one marker question. It refers to the number of subordinates that can be effectively managed by a superior. So this number can't be same for each and everyone. This number keeps on changing according to the person's capability, capacity, his leadership skills, and his other traits, personal traits, personality traits, we can say. It is also known as span of supervision. Clear? So it refers to the number of subordinates that can be effectively managed, and you have to keep in mind the span of management cannot be same for all persons. It differs from manager to manager, individual to individual. Clear? Now next come to the next topic. Factors affecting span of management: capacity of the superior, nature of the work assigned, capabilities of subordinate, physical location. So all these are the factors which are not the part of your course, but still I am explaining you. So if there is a role clarity in the mind of employees, then it will definitely increase the span of management of the superior. Why? Because when their role is cleared in their mind, there will be no ambiguity, there will be no confusions in their mind, and they will be doing the work smoothly without any interruptions. But if there are confusions in the mind of the employees, they will be again and again going to the supervisor for asking, for clearing their doubts. In that case, it will become difficult for a supervisor to handle more number of the persons. So that's why whenever there will be cleared organizational structure, well-defined organizational structure, in that case, definitely it will increase the span of management of the supervisors, of the managers, because when their working relationships are cleared, there will be role clarity, they will be not again and again visiting the supervisor, and supervisors need of supervision will reduce, and definitely he can manage more number of persons at a time, because employees there is a role clarity in the mind of employees, and they are smoothly doing their work. Very not very frequently they are visiting the supervisor for asking their doubts. Yes, next is the types of organization structure. What are the types? How many types of organization structure are there? There are two types of organization structure. This is a very important topic, because in the case study this will come, and you have to identify that which organizational structure is talked about in case study. So first is the functional structure, and second is the divisional structure. Functional structure, in which the division of activities is done on the basis of similar nature activities. Similar nature activities are grouped under one particular department, and one person is appointed as the head of that department. Clear? And all of the activities under that department, that particular person is responsible. He is accountable, he is responsible to get the work done of his department. So functional structure is basically the structure in which the departments are created on the basis of similar nature activities to be performed. Many times I have given you this example. For example, the different functions are performed in every organization, like production function, production department, marketing department, finance department, personal department, and some few more you can add up as per your knowledge. It is not hardly, it is not rigid that these are to be departments which are need to be created in each and every organization. Departments can be created as per the need of the organization. Suppose this is the managing director, and he has created different functions, different departments on the basis of the functions to be performed. Suppose this is the production department. Production department means this department must be performing only the production function. Then it is the purchase department. This department must be doing all the purchase related activities from pin to plane. If anything is to be purchased in the organization, that will be purchased only through the purchase department. Each and every department has to put their orders with the purchase department. Then the finance department. Finance department will be taking care of all the financial needs, all the inflows of the cash and the outflows of the cash, where to invest the money, from where to raise the funds. Each and every aspect will be decided by the finance department. Then the suppose marketing department. This department will be taking care of all the sales, how the sales can be increased, and what will be the discounts, offer schemes will be given, how much of the amount will be spent on the advertisements and other things. And suppose this is one more department, HRD, human resource department. This department will be taking care of all the employees. When how many employees will be appointed, how the employees will be appointed, from where the employees will be taken, and what will be their salaries, compensations. Each thing will be decided by this department. Suppose one more department is there, which is known as R&D. This department is mostly found nowadays in each and every organization, research and development department. And this department work is to continuously involve itself in doing innovations, analyzing the customer needs and developing the products according to the customer needs so that the products are easily sold in the market. So I have shown you all the departments are created. Whenever in organization different departments are created on the basis of the similar functions to be performed, then this type of organizational structure is known as functional organizational structure. And it is not hardly stated that all these departments are must to be created. No, any number of departments can be added here, and any number of departments can be reduced from here according to the need and the size of the organization. If the organization size is very much large, then the number of departments will be more. And it is not necessary that all the department must be at the same place. It may happen that production plant is in one city, purchase plant is in another city, finance department is another city, another region. So it means all the departments, it is not necessary must be at the same place. The place of department may differ. But whenever the organization is working only on the basis of different departments, then it means it is following functional organizational structure. Clear? And here one thing you have to make clear, that each and every department is specialized in performing only one type of activity. And again they are performing the same activity. So definitely there will be benefits of specialization in this type of departmentation. And role clarity, production department employees very well know that they have to involve themselves only in the production activities. Finance department employees very well know that they have to involve themselves only in the finance activities. It means the working of each and every department is different as well as interrelated with each other. How interrelated? Because production department cannot produce the goods until the purchase department is purchasing the raw material. So production department functioning is very much dependent on purchase department. And purchase department cannot make the purchases until the finance department is releasing funds to it. Suppose purchase department wants to purchase, it has put the purchase order, but till now the finance department has not released the cash. So in this case, it will not be able to purchase the goods. If the goods will not be purchased on time, goods here means raw material, so production department will not be able to produce the goods on time. And if it is not produce the goods on time, then this department in which sales are done will not be able to supply the goods on time, because the sales can be made only when the goods are produced on the time. If the firm has received the large orders, it could be executed only when the goods are produced on time. So we can say the working of each and every department is separate as well as very much closely interrelated. If one department is failing to execute its duties, then the other department will not be able to achieve its target. So this is all about the functional organizational structure. In this, you have seen that the departments are made or created on the basis of the similar nature functions to be performed. And in each department, there is a person who is responsible for that department. That person is known as manager of that department. Production manager will be responsible for production department, purchase manager for purchase department, finance manager for finance department, and so on. So this is all about functional organizational structure, and I hope I'm clear with the topic.